1, 2, 3.
On today's episode of Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge, we'll be making caramel apple pastries. Apparently it's boring. Welcome back, my little spoons. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'm what? The missing ingredient to your kitchen. Today's episode, we are making apple caramel pastries. Oh, Jesus, I almost died. Did you see that? I have not made this recipe before. Well, technically I've made half of this recipe before, but I was scrolling on Instagram, saw a reel. There was not an ingredients list attached to the video. A lot of this is guesswork as far as the recipe goes, but it's simple. Let me rephrase that. It seems simple. So we're in this journey together. It is also apple harvest season. We're in the second week of September, and what better way to incorporate apples than a sweet treat just for you, Cody?
I can't wait.
I love a good apple dessert. Classic, right? Did I harvest these apples? No, because I don't have an apple tree on my property yet. Big news coming, just so I let you all know that. Hopefully it's successful. I'm excited, and yeah, I don't know what else to really say about that. I've said enough. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Okay, first step before I forget, because I always forget because I'm a space case, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll be right back. So now that is preheating, we're gonna start slicing our apples. So we have your harvested apples. I bought these from the store because I ain't got time. Honeycrisp Pink Lady, pretty sure. No. Honeycrisp Pink Lady. Nailed it. If you want to do a lot, do 4 apples. I'm starting with 2 because, like I said, I've never made this recipe before. And what if it's a failure? I don't want to waste a lot. So you could choose any apples, I guess. I have washed these in warm to hot water. Apparently, this is like a myth. I haven't really deep dove into this. They put a wax coating on apples, and I'm not gonna lie, I washed it in hot water and they are dull now, so maybe that washed off. In the Instagram reel, it didn't show them peeling the apple itself, so basically we're gonna slice it into slices because technically we're making apple pastry rings, if that makes any sense. Ooh, that's tough. Oh, this one's a little rotten. My wrist. This is hard. They smell friggin' delicious though. Now in the video, the next step is to cut like the core area out, and they use, preheated. They use like a piping end. I have zero faith that this is big enough. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel for the next step, it's not big enough. Okay, we're just, ow! Be careful, because that's sharp. Okay, all right, they don't show you this in the video. It's like impossible to get the core out. It won't go through. This is not that easy.
Lies.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna cut. You can kind of see where the core is. Oh no, this one broke.
Well, we're done.
You know what? It's fine. You can probably do half rings. I'm gonna set this aside, and then I'm going to show you what I presume is the next step in this recipe. Okay, the next step calls for sheets of puff pastry, and I'm not making them, obviously, because I'm lazy. If I cannot have to do a step of something, I'm not gonna do a step of something. So, we got Pillsbury pie crusts, but now I realize this is not puff pastry. I could use these, or I can use the croissants that I still have and just cut them into ribbons. Let's do an experiment. As crewman Cody gets that, I'm going to do 1 pie crust. Hold that thought. I don't want to put it on my raw table. I'm gonna put some parchment paper out, so be right back. I got the parchment paper out. I'm gonna unroll this. Also, I pulled out my Pillsbury croissants out of the freezer, so hopefully that'll kind of defrost a little bit. Okay. This is just a nightmare. Unroll. Okay. So the video looked like they used a pizza cutter and then they cut like 1-inch slices essentially. So I'm just kind of making guidelines. And then I'm gonna slice it all the way down to make strips. Bear with me. Oh, that was pretty easy. So we have 6. I'm gonna save these in case that doesn't work out.
Tastes good.
You don't eat them raw, Cody. Dear God, stop. Okay, I'm gonna set those aside and I'll be back to show you the next step. Our next step is to make a cinnamon sugar dip. I'm just gonna do like a 1/4 cup of sugar. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm gonna mix that. Oh, I'm already getting violent. Hang on. I'm gonna make sure like all the chunks are broken down. There's not many, but just in case. You could use a sifter, yes, but this is honestly in not that bad of shape, so. Okay, so the next step is we're going to coat the apple in this cinnamon sugar mixture. Then it showed wrapping the pastry around the apple. I don't know if I should do it individually and then just put it on a tray. Hang on, be right back. We're gonna start with, we have 1 apple. The video showed her graciously covering it. Oh, it's like melting into the apple. Something tells me this is not gonna be enough.
No, it's not.
We're gonna start wrapping this somehow, some way. Yeah, this is, okay. This, that's what happens when you try to do it tight. Okay, everyone calm down, all right? Calm, can we all calm down? I'm not calm. This is hard. It's not hard, it's just tedious. Maybe I should have had a bigger hole. Okay, I'm just pressing it together so they don't shift. I gotta make it bigger. Look it, I'm figuring it out for y'all ahead of time. Oh my God. No, no. Okay, you know what? I'm putting this aside. We're gonna reset for a second, okay? I'm getting overwhelmed. Be right back. All right, I have another creative idea. I'm gonna kind of roll out the pastries to be thinner. Okay, we made a bigger hole, which is unfortunate because you want apple. I don't know. We have more success. I had to pivot. Okay, 1. And I only have 2 strips left.
That's only taking 2 hours.
It did not take 2 hours. This is an art in itself. And I'm not going like too thin. Oh. I'm just being real with my audience. So you may see these on Instagram and it is not at all what they show you, clearly. Oh no, it broke. 2. It's coming together. I will be back to show you the difference when I wrap it with the pastries, I guess. Because I'm a dingbat and I'm doing pie crust, which doesn't matter, I think it's still gonna be delicious. The pie crust needs to cook at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So I raised the temperature of my stove to 450 degrees Fahrenheit so that when these cook in there for, was it 10 to 12 minutes, the instructions?
For the pie crust, it's 10 minutes, 12. For the croissants, it was 17 to 19. So we're gonna then, after doing the math, we're gonna drop it down to about 12 minutes. So roughly 10 to 12 minutes.
We are moving on to our puff pastry / croissants. I'm assuming this is the same as puff pastry.
Yeah, how is it not?
Yeah, but I feel like there was like a dessert puff pastry. This is just a dumpster fire of an episode, I guess.
Disagree.
We are unraveling the croissant. Okay, I'm not gonna unravel that because it's still frozen and it keeps breaking. Okay, we got a strip. I'm gonna roll out the puff pastry / croissant. Actually, it's fine that it's croissant because my favorite dessert that came out to Starbucks this year is the apple croissant. Oh my God, it's just the universe going, hello, we're gonna make our own. Full circle. Okay, another apple. All right, we're gonna do the same thing. Ooh, this stuff breaks easier, Cody. It's like an art project gone wrong, realistically. You know what? Executive decision, all right? All I know is that once these are all combined and cooked together, it's gonna taste amazing. So we're not here for aesthetics, not yet anyway. Oh my God, my little apple croissant. I don't know, I think it's gonna come together, Cody. I don't know how well it's gonna bake, but that's what these tests are for. Now that I've gotten into a flow of things, we're gonna be right back and I'm gonna show you what to do next. So we have half the rings here that are made with apple crust, and then the other half are made with puff pastry. If I were to redo this, if I was bringing them to a party, let's say, I would put a lot more effort into it. But This is just for test purposes and to see how it cooks, and I'm hoping it cooks easy. I really always jinx it at the beginning of the video. This is gonna be so easy. With pie or pastries or anything, I always do an egg wash over it just to kind of get a nice brown to them. What you're gonna need is a single egg and a little like bowl. You're just gonna crack your egg in there, and I'm gonna whisk that together, breaking up the yolk. Once that's broken up, I'm going to basically paint each one of my pastries. And then I'm gonna set this aside. I'm probably gonna cook it. Maybe the dogs can have little scrambled eggs this afternoon. You never waste any products, okay? Not in this economy. Just a reminder, it is 450 degrees Fahrenheit at the 5-minute mark and 10-minute mark. I'm gonna check because if the puff pastry is starting to get really dark, I'm going to take those out and then continue cooking the other ones. All right, BRB. Just to top this episode off, we're going to bring in Hal's Gate. So I have my induction burner proper pot. This works with induction ovens, okay? It has iron in the pot, or else it doesn't work, as we've learned from the last episode of corn chowder. I'm gonna show you how to make caramel. It's pretty easy. So basically we're going to turn this on. I'm gonna do on medium low heat. We're going to start with 4 tablespoons of salted butter. If it is unsalted butter, you can add 1 teaspoon of salt to that, but I only usually use salted butter. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my God. And we're just gonna let that melt. By the way, I checked in on our pastries at the 5-minute mark. It's going good. Ooh, we are melting very nicely. Now the thing with caramel sauce is you have to whisk it consistently. Our butter has melted, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add 1 cup of light brown sugar. And I'm gonna kind of just mix that all together, kind of incorporate that butter. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of half and half cream. And then 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So it has combined into a nice watery mixture. With that said, I'm gonna bring this to a simmer, and basically we're gonna continue stirring it until it becomes a thick sauce. So around 6 to 9 minutes. You don't want to overboil it. Also very dangerous because there is sugar in here. It will overboil on the edges. If you start to see it boil, take it off the burner, let it cool down, then reintroduce it to a lower heat until you get the consistency you want. So I'm just going to show you. Very liquidy, as you can see. My timer's about to go off. I'm going to check on my pastries, and we'll be back. It's been 10 minutes. The apples with the puff pastries are done, but the apples with the pie crust are not done. So they're gonna go back in. Cody is just helping me. Thank you. I just have to really mix this because I don't want it to overboil. Could you go sit down and not eat that?
I wasn't gonna eat it.
You're gonna eat it.
I was looking at this.
He's trying to eat the raw crust. All right, it's been a few minutes and I'm testing it. As you can see, it's still very watery. It's not as thick as I want it to be. So I'm gonna give this another maybe 3 minutes, maybe less. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it, right? All right, we are at the perfect thickness in my opinion. So as you're mixing it, you can kind of see that you can see the bottom as you're mixing it. It's not boiling as much. It looks more like a caramel consistency. I'm gonna shut that off. Here we are. Beautiful. Yeah, and as it cools down, it will thicken. So just be mindful of that. If you are covering something with a drizzle, do it kind of immediately. I think our pies are basically done. So almost TTT. We'll be back for plating time. So be right back. We have both our apple puff pastry / apple croissant, and then we have our apple ring with apple pie crust. This is what the puff pastry looks like. It's actually a beautiful golden brown, very fluffy. And then these are the pie crust. The caramel is perfect. Perfect, told you. Gorgeous, it smells amazing. Basically, I'm going to take my caramel and I'm going to drizzle. We have the caramel on, we have the croissant covered, we have the pie covered. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up and then we're gonna do TTT, taste test time. I'm actually so excited to try these because it smells amazing. Literally, let's dig in. The apple pie crust is flaky and beautiful. I think I was expecting apple pie. It does not taste like apple pie realistically. If you love apple pie crust, this is the dessert for you. With the caramel, I make a really good caramel. It's really good. Mm. Cody, like hang out, like 5 minutes. That turned out great. Now I'm gonna try the puff pastry one. The apple is a little harder. It may have been better without the puff pastry, but I like an al dente apple, I'm just saying. Interesting. It's good, but I like the apple pie better. Sorry, I like the pie crust better. Shall you try them and you tell me your opinion?
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just having the caramel on its own. It's so good, sorry. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome, as Dad says. The silence.
Nice.
You eat it in like one bite, like it's crazy.
I like the croissant apple.
You like the croissant apple better.
Both are delicious.
Yeah.
CPC from TTT.
CPC, Clean Plate Club.
For the TTT.
For the TTT, for the taste test. Did you like the caramel?
I did, but I could use more of it.
You want more caramel?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy with that. Like, is it the best dessert I've ever had? No. Is it something that I can whip up and bring somewhere as like a creative dessert? Yes. Is it a crowd pleaser? Most likely yes. Kind of wavers on not too sweet, but like not under sweet, right? It's more of a crowd pleaser versus, you know, something rich and like flavor that's not everyone's cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what I'm saying half the time.
Do you know?
Do I know what I'm saying? No. Thank you, my little spoons, for lasting this long in the video, and thank you for joining me on this journey. What did we learn? Things on the internet are not as easy as they seem. And I'm the first one to tell you this recipe is not that easy. That's why I'm not labeling it easy caramel pastry, because it's not. Anyway, I enjoyed it and I will be making this definitely again. You know how to make caramel now. It's a little dangerous, but I have faith that you'll be able to do it and execute it at home. Simple, easy. Just be prepared to stir it for 6 to 9 minutes. That is all. And with that said, these pastries. See ya.